Thank you very much for that kind introduction, and thank you FCM for awarding the region's ION project a Sustainable Community Award. It's really an honor and a privilege to get that award, and it really shows how important and critical this project has been. I'm going to be a bit unusual in my presentation and actually starting it off with a video. I think it's self-explanatory, that this video, and I will pick my presentation up again after it is done. So just 1 second.
People wonder, what's in the water here? Flip back through the pages and paragraphs of this community's history and you can see why that's a question asked with a straight face and a notebook in hand. This place, it's got a gift for peering beyond the horizon, for resilience in the face of adversity. Over the past century and a half, it's attracted farmers, craftspeople, industrialists, academics and tech startups to its streets and fields. And it's rolled with the punches. It's dusted itself off following the decline of manufacturing and the automotive nosedive. It's redefined its image, marrying new ideas with old buildings, breathing life into abandoned spaces. Recently, like others, Waterloo region began to push its urban limits towards the countryside, sprawling across the rich fields that give us food, groundwater, and a special connection to a rural landscape. But unlike many others, it sat up and took notice that a unique way of life was slowly eroding. In a community of 3 robust cities and 4 pastoral townships, maintaining a rural-urban balance is no easy feat. But that's the tightrope this community walks every day. Waterloo region had a decision to make: allow the urban limits to push further into its farmland, or contain that growth in the downtown cores. It would be a hard decision that would shape the community for generations to come, and establish these past few years as a historic period in the ongoing story of Waterloo region.
So that video is a trailer, and it was produced entirely by Regional Waterloo staff as an introduction to a 1 hour video that we did documenting the whole ION story. And I wanted to use that to introduce this talk because it really speaks to a lot of why we did this, provide some great visual images that really demonstrate what this project has done for the region. One of the things that is noted in it is the region of Waterloo and what we consist of. So we have a population of about 600,000. For a project like this, that's on the small side. We are the smallest community in North America that has built a light rail transit system. In Europe, there are some our size, but in North America, by far the smallest. We are a relatively young community. I do more than my fair share to pull that average up a little bit, but we definitely have a young community, a growing community. That growth has been happening for over the last 30 years. Every year we've been growing. At times we've been close to the fastest growing community in all of Canada. So that gives a bit of background on what the region is. The project itself, it consists of 14 Bombardier vehicles, a cost of about $100 million for those vehicles. The capital cost of the line, which is on the order of 30 kilometers in length, is about another $900 million for a total project cost of close to $1 billion. And it stretches from the north end of Waterloo to the south end of Kitchener, connecting two malls. And along the route, we have the University of Waterloo, Wilfrid Laurier, our hospitals, two downtown core areas, as well as a lot of opportunities for redevelopment. The construction of this project started in 2014, and we were able to launch service in June of 2019. At the same time, we also launched an ION bus service that goes from the south end of the light rail system all the way to the complete south end of Cambridge. That system was installed in order to prepare us for stage two. Stage two being the continuation of that light rail all the way from Fairway into Cambridge and connecting all of the major cities within the region of Waterloo. As an engineer, I'll admit I like the technical part of this, the tracks, the trains, all the things that we do to create transportation choice and that infrastructure piece. But if I'm honest, that's not the big reason why we did this. The big reason we did this was to shape our community, shape how we grow, to create vibrant urban spaces, and to protect our rural areas. You can see in the picture on the side, there are many places along the corridor between urban and rural where you have that very distinct line in the region of Waterloo. Not all communities have that, but we can document exactly where that divide between urban and rural is, and have been able to maintain that for over 30 years. It's really critical to us because we believe we have some of the best farmland in Canada, critical to protect that. As well, most of our drinking water comes from the groundwater that infiltrates in those areas. This project, after many years of planning and construction, started on June 21st, the first day of summer or last day of spring in 2019. In the first 11 days, we had 330,000 boardings. That was free service for those first 11 days, but the successes continued. Through 2019, we saw over 3 million boardings on ION for just the first 2 months of service. And having a system like this creates a bit of a halo effect. Not only do you see increases in boardings on the light rail system, the ION system itself, but you see boardings increase across your whole transit system. And we saw a 12% increase. And in the central corridor, which is serviced by ION, we saw a 35% increase, which are really stout, robust numbers to after a launch of a system like this. As I said, we didn't just do this to build the rail and to carry the passengers. We also built it for the changes that it would bring in our downtown core areas. I'm not going to read the numbers. You can read the numbers in here, but I can relate a story. My office looks out over the city, and if I count the number of cranes that are out there, I see 15 cranes almost all the time. For a while, I think we were the third leading city in North America for number of cranes. Just outside, a block away from my office, there is a 32-story condo that's going up. That will be the largest condo, tallest building that has been constructed in the region of Waterloo. And it's not just about that investment that's happening. That investment is great, it brings in tax dollars, but it's the vitality that's being created. We're getting people living in our downtown core areas. We're creating those vibrant urban spaces that will attract more people into the areas and businesses. We're seeing business like Google making a big commitment to our downtown and wanting to be in those vibrant areas. Now, this has been a transformational project, and there's a number of factors that have helped us be successful. One of the big ones, and maybe most important one, is political and staff continuity and leadership. These projects don't happen overnight. They're not even a 3 or 4 year project. These are 10 and 15-year projects. And if you cannot maintain that commitment on the political side or on the staff side, it's impossible to be successful. In our case, we went through at least 2 municipal elections that were fought on the basis of whether we should go ahead with light rail transit or not. Fortunately, the people supporting light rail transit won, and we were able to maintain that continuity and get this project to completion. The picture on the side that you see are all the successful council members celebrating on the day of the opening. The other big piece of this is having a strong implementation team. And that's both on the staff side, you need strong people to lead this, but you also need to make sure you get a good consulting team together. That's both technical consultants, legal, financial. If you're doing a public-private partnership, you need experts in those types of procurement methods as well. The people that you will be building this with, the other partners on your team, they will have a world-class team. You need to make sure that you have a world-class team to be successful. While there's a strong community, we had a good community vision of where we wanted to be, and we had a lot of community support. But I will say, and you may have seen during the video, that we had probably about 1/3 of people that supported this, 1/3 of people that were neutral, and about 1/3 of people that didn't really see why we were doing it. And we had many community outreach opportunities. At many of them, I was present, and frequently, if there were customers and citizens who had a lot of questions, they were directed to me. And I remember one meeting where we had 3 older women who could not see the point of light rail transit. They did not see why it was necessary. They did not see any reason for us to change the way that we grew. And I will admit, I spent probably a half hour to an hour with them. They, on occasion, went up one side and down the other side of me. At the end of it, I will admit, I did not convince them to change their minds. I did not run into those particular women again, but on opening day, we had a lot of people like them. They came out on that opening day because they said, you know what, we paid for this damn thing. We want to see what it's all about. They were not expecting to be satisfied with what we had constructed or see it. But many of the people that came off the train after having that first ride had completely changed their minds. They had gotten the ride to the community. They could see the differences that it would bring into the future. And many came off that train saying exactly that. We didn't understand this before, but now we understand how this is going to change our transportation choice, how this is going to change our community, and we're now supportive of it. And I think that was absolutely a great thing for me to hear, gratifying to see that we were able to change some of the people's minds at least, and gratifying to see that this would change our community. I'm going to end by thanking you. My name is Thomas Schmidt. This project was a transformational one for the region of Waterloo, and it's one that you rarely get an opportunity to do in your career. And I would encourage all of you, when you go to work in your municipalities, look for those types of transformational projects. They are not easy, they are hard. Sometimes they take a long time to get done. Sometimes the reward isn't until the end of the project, but they are well worth doing. It is why I come into the office every day, and I know it's why many of you go into the office every day. So thank you very much for listening to me. Thank you again, SCM, for awarding us the Sustainable Communities Award, and I'm open to answer any questions.